I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Wednesday, June the 15th. And the board was down swiftly there on Monday. Why it broke when we had so many positive fundamental factors, and why does it go down so hard? Because it can. There's not really anything that ties it that close to the cash market right up until the day it expires. And there seems to be no sense of urgency, even though we're halfway through June, to get the live cattle futures to line up with the cash fat cattle. And it's over $9 basis right now, and was down again Monday and Tuesday. Monday, your live cattle down the limit, $3, especially on your August. Tuesday, we're up 65 cents on the August, but June was down another 40, continuing to spread that basis out, even though we're getting really close. And it's at 118.70 for your June contract, which is your spot contract. And you know, it's not getting in any hurry to tie back up with cash. Your August, where all the plays at, is at 115. Feeder cattle on Monday were all down the limit, down $4.50, and Tuesday was up $1.10. I got a little rally there, ending the day on Tuesday at 142.15. Why was everything down so hard? Because we've seen this out of nowhere rally from corn. Corn for December new crop is at 446.5. That is a long ways from where it was when we started before this crop went in. And you wonder, what does live cattle futures, or what did live cattle period have to do with corn? Nothing. They're done with corn. They don't have anything to do with feeder cattle either. They have no ties there. But your feeder cattle do. Feeder cattle are all about corn, and they were going to be down the limit, and it just seems like it's in the same arena. So live cattle futures are pulling from that bearish factor there. But we're likely to see the lowest cash fat cattle so far this year, this week, which would be just under 124, and then it'll sure be that much lower as hard as it was down on Monday, and really nothing to pull it back up. Even though we've had really good box beef trade, these feedlots are really current. We've been killing a lot of cattle. The consumer demand is good for beef right now, and all those fundamentals are really pretty good. But it just, everybody's got a bearish fear to them, and this market is real vulnerable for anything bearish. And last week's fat cattle trade was so disappointing that it lent a lot of bearish pressure. And that's what happens whenever these feedlots don't stick to their guns, dig their feet in, and try to take advantage when they get a week like last week when the board was trading sideways and the fundamentals were all good. You got to get more for your fats, or it just puts a whole bearish damper on the whole cattle industry. Your weighted average last week in your fat cattle trade on 85,900 head in the 5-area feeding region had live steers at 127.52, down $1.77. I know it's not that much, but they should have been able to gain some ground. Dress steers 205.64, which was down just 2 cents, and that goes to show you that there's a premium being paid up north where most of your dress trade is, because there's such a big spread between choice and select right now, and they get more of those higher quality graded cattle in the northern plains. But have had just a couple deals so far this week of fat cattle trades. You had a string in Colorado that were quoted on mandatory price reporting at 125. We had a 256 head on Monday that traded at 126. Had a load of cattle that traded at 130, but it's going to be a lot lower, probably sub 125, probably down 123, 124, unless something major happens. Cash feeder markets, Oklahoma City at 9,900. They finally had a decent amount of cattle this week, because not so much around Oklahoma City, but where a lot of those cattle come out of North Texas and places like that are finally drying out enough to get some of those cattle up to Oklahoma City. But market was down hard just because of the same reasons the whole industry's down. Those feeder cattle weighing under 8 were $2 to $6 lower. The ones weighing over 8 were mostly steady, because that just goes to show you how much long-term bearishness there is on this market, because those cattle are weighing under 8. They feel like by the time they get those cattle finish that this market's going to be a whole lot lower than what it is right now. Calves were not well tested. Joplin had only 5,500, and also the heat is being a major problem already, even though we're mid-June on these feeder cattle auctions, because it's just hard to handle these cattle in this kind of heat, especially those big yearlings. They will absolutely melt on you, and you get them out in this heat when they've been used to just relaxing, out grazing, things like that. They're not used to being jostled around in the high heat and humidity is probably hurting as much as anything. But calves in Joplin, $8 to $12 lower. Yearlings, $3 to $7 lower. Look at your Cattle Market Central Market report out of Joplin there. You see every class is just lower, and that's just a big damper, and pretty much all caused by the lack of gaining any ground in the fed cattle arena last week. Look at some other quotes out of Cattle Market Central. Look at these 8 1/4 to just over 900 pound yearlings out of Salina, Kansas on Monday, and they were good $7 to $8 lower, $10 lower in spots. You're not going to see these quotes anywhere else but Cattle Market Central, because the only reports that come out of Salina on a regular basis are their Thursday sale, and right now they're closed due to wheat harvest. But that's 3 minutes, and we'll talk to you on Friday.